Hello there, friend. My name is April San Pedro, and I have another Vlogmas video for you. So for the past few days, I've been sharing some Christmas craft edition for the Vlogmas. I'm not really sure how the Vlogmas works, but from what I know and from what I've been seeing with the other videos, it's pretty much about just creating content every day for the entire December. So I'm not sure if it should be about a vlog or Christmas feels thing. But what I'm doing right now is more about Christmas crafts. So it's either you can do it with your kids or you can just simply do it on your own. So for the past few days, what I've been sharing was mostly with my son, Nicolas. Right now, he doesn't feel like joining me. So I'm just gonna do this by myself. So for this Vlogmas Christmas Craft Edition, I'll be sharing with you a handmade postcard using Christmas stamps. So I've thought about this because this is a very nice way of sending your greeting to your loved ones, especially the ones from abroad. Or you can also use this as technically your card for your gift, but for the main purpose of this one is really a postcard that you can send it to your friends and family. Now, postcard is one of my favorite snail mail because for one, if you send it to your post office, it's cheaper than the greeting card because it doesn't have a envelope. But the downside also is you can only send few messages at the back of your postcards. Plus, I think postcards right now are not so popular with younger kids already. So that's why I'm trying to bring back those kinds of handmade correspondence or handmade snail mails so that the younger ones will actually be familiar with the usual way of saying hello to your loved ones aside from messenger and text messages, right? Okay, so this one, supposedly I'm gonna do this with my son because I want him to send a postcard also for his auntie in Canada. So since he doesn't want to join the video, we'll do ours on some other day. Let me share the materials for the handmade postcard, or should I say handmade Christmas postcard. So first of all, you'll be needing a paper. Would suggest that you choose a thick kind of paper. So if you have a cardstock, since postcard doesn't have an envelope, we would really like to have a bit there's a little weight on your paper so it won't get crumpled while it's on the mail. What I like using here though, aside from cardstock, are the watercolor papers because they are thick enough and they can handle different mediums. So if in case you want to use a stamp or a brush pen, a watercolor, or if you want to collage or something, the paper can handle it very well. If you can also have an access for a mixed media paper, a pad for mixed media, that would also be nice. So you can find watercolor paper in pad. So if you're into watercolor, you probably have a pad of watercolor. If this is your first time, the pad will also be convenient for you because it's less expensive, and at the same time you can make so much. Plus, if you feel like practicing watercolor later on, then you already have a watercolor pad. So if you have a watercolor pad just like this one, you can just cut them into a small size. So like in my case, I will still be cutting this into a 4x6 size, so something like this. If you use a watercolor pad, well, actually it's a very minor disadvantage. You will be having a plain paper even at the back. So if you want to make your life easier, there are brands that is already a postcard paper set. So just like this one. This one is from Handmade. So it's a postcard size, but at the back there's also a line for you. So if you want an easy way, you don't have to cut your paper already, just look for a postcard size paper. I believe some brands like Strathmore and Winsor and Newton, aside from Handmade, have a postcard set already that is pre-cut, and then it has a line at the back as well. So those are your options. But nonetheless, if you don't have it, you can just use a watercolor paper or a mixed media paper and you're good to go. So aside from the paper, of course, this project is mainly focused on stamps. So I'll be using clear stamps. If you have rubber stamps for alphabets and Christmas related, that would be preferably because it's a Christmas season, but you don't really have to if you don't have the Christmas season or Christmas element stamps. A simple alpha stamps that says Merry Christmas is actually good to go, which we will be making as well, just so to give you an idea that you can have it as simple as that. So yeah, clear stamps, and if you're using clear stamps, you'll be needing acrylic block. But if you're using a rubber stamps, you don't need this anymore. Of course, ink pads. So I have here with me Distress Oxide and from Ranger, which is an archival ink. I like using this too because they are, for one, archival and also very pigmented. So, but if you don't have this, any stamp, ink stamp will definitely do. Other than that, you will be needing a pen as well, like a marker, just in case you want to use a marker. And if you want to use some other things like brush pens and calligraphy pens, that would also be fine. But with this, I want to focus on with stamps. So now that we've established what the materials we will be needing, let's get started. All right, so first off, I want to show you, if in case you don't have a Christmas theme stamps, because what I have here, I just recently bought this like last year, I think. That's when I realized that I never had a Christmas theme stamp. So if in case you want to do this but you don't have a Christmas theme stamp yet, don't worry, because we can always find a way. I just tear off the paper with my hands because I like the deckled edges. So now that I already have a postcard size paper, I will be using alpha clear stamps. This one I'm using from Illustrated Faith. I like using this one especially for this project because it's not my usual serif fonts. So what I have here are the serif ones, although this one is a bit bigger. I also like that this is a bit fun looking. I'm gonna choose 3 colors from my ink pad that is actually Christmas looking. So probably, of course, the green and red. So I'm gonna test it out first, just so I won't regret that I use these colors. What I'm gonna write or I'm gonna stamp on is just simply Merry Christmas. If you can think of other title like Happy Holidays or Peace and Joy, something like that, you can definitely do that. But with this one, I just want to do this very simple. So aside from the alpha stamps, I want to use this one, the bird stamps. If you don't have the Christmas elements, you probably have different elements for your stamp, so you can also use that one. So for me, I want to use this as my elements. So first, I want to use this as part of my focal point. You feel like doing something on a weekend, this one will really be a good project. Now I'm gonna start with my title. And there, simple as that. To make this a postcard, since this is a plain paper, watercolor paper, we're just gonna add the lines here at the back. So if in case you are not familiar, what are these lines for? This is where you will place the recipient's name and their address. This is where you will write your notes or your message to the recipient. And this is where you're gonna place the stamp or the postage stamp. Now let's try a different one. Now we're gonna try the Christmas element stamps. There are so many beautiful Christmas stamps out there. It's just that as much as I want to collect them, I think I'm just gonna stick with this few stamps that I have right now because it's very addicting and I want to maximize the use of my stamps. And since this is a very seasonal stamp, I would just probably stick with them for now. All right, I'll be using the crepe paper stamp. I'll probably mix it with, I don't know, with this one, or we'll see about it. Now there are so many wonderful Christmas stamps out there. I'm a fan of Heidi Swap, and her stamps, especially during Christmas, are just so beautiful. You have the freedom to actually create an artwork out of her stamps. So if you want to get some, I would suggest you look into her stamps. I believe Carrie Bradshaw has also stamps for Christmas. For this one, I want to create a somewhat a scene, Christmas scene, just by using this one. So since I only have few of them, let's just see what we can do about it. Okay, so I want to use the Christmas village. Oh, you know what? I want to try combining colors here. I would really suggest that you clean your stamps every now and then, because with alcohol, wipes and alcohol, well, that's how I use it, but you can, I think, use just wipes, just so you'll get the right color for your stamp. I would normally use 3 elements or 3 odd numbers for certain elements, but I think if I add one more here, it's a bit too much. I'll leave it at that for now. And then I just want to add snowflakes, Merry Christmas here. Okay, so I'm pretty much done with the layout, but I want to add a little dimension with my postcard that won't actually affect the weight or once it's actually shipped out. I'm gonna stamp this one on a different paper. If you want to do something like this, try not to overdo it, like add some other things, because try to remember that postcards are mailed without an envelope. There's a chance that if you add extra elements on your postcard, they might not ship it or they might require you to remove it. Just be cautious with that. And now at the back, I want to add this. I have some like a snail mail looking stamp, so I want to add this. There, I think so far that's just it. I don't want to overthink. I don't want to add some more. For one thing that I can guarantee you, like if you started this kind of project, you would definitely enjoy it. And so the moment you're done with one design, you'd probably want to do another more. So that's actually up to you if you want to do more, and then you find different ways to use even just one stamp set. So this part is actually a very nice way to spend it with your child or children, because they'll have the freedom to create their own postcard without drawing it, or they just play with stamps. So it's actually a nice way to have a Christmas activity with them. Nonetheless, if you kind of feel like you don't have the skill to draw or to do calligraphy and all those things, then the stamp is your best friend. That's about it, friends. I hope this super easy handmade Christmas postcard will inspire you to create some and send it out to your loved ones this holiday season. One way of letting your loved ones feel loved during this holiday season is sending them a handmade postcard, right? So I'll see you again on my next Christmas craft edition Vlogmas. Bye, friends. Thank you for watching until the end.